Well, I watched your video on how A&M's defense continues to create insane havoc. And something you said in the first part of the video is something Olin and I talked about earlier this week, is that it was a handful of plays by Missouri that made those rushing numbers look the way they looked, right? It was 2, 3, 4 plays that were really the bulk of that offense. So just kind of give us, and I want people to click on the video and watch it still, but just give us your thoughts on, A, why the defense or how the defense is creating the havoc, and maybe those plays in particular, what you think happened.
Yeah, so first, what tipped me off on what I thought was ultimately going to happen was Drinkwitz's post-game press conference. Like, if you listen to the clips that came out of that, he sounded like an offensive coordinator and an offensive football coach. I don't know if he still calls plays, but a guy, he doesn't anymore. A guy involved with offense, heavily involved with offense, that sounded bamboozled and beaten in a game of chess in the pressures, right? How you were getting after the quarterback. I mean, the biggest play in that football game is the strip sack that ends up in an interception fumble recovery that damn near goes for a touchdown. All of those plays, all of those pivotal plays, when you finally got them into several 3rd and longs where Matt Zollers has to now drop back and throw the football. First of all, you played man-to-man coverage because y'all believe in your corners out there at A&M. I'm not saying you play every game in bump and run man-to-man, but when you think you can cover, you cover and you pressure the quarterback, and you pressure it really, really uniquely. You don't just throw guys at the box. You manipulate and really figure out what the offensive line structurally is doing. And every pass protection has a weak link. There is something in there that we can attack. Whether we got 3 guys sliding this way and 2 guys sliding this way, and now the vulnerability of the protections down the middle. Well, if that is the case, A&M throws multiple bodies at the vulnerability every single time when they pressure. It got to a point I'm watching, I'm like, dude, I know Elko's like a lifetime defensive guy, but this dude must have spent some time coaching offensive line or something, because he clearly has protections down to a T. He knows what their principles are. Nope, he's a lifer on defense. Hell, he played DB at Penn. Not to body shape. I was surprised to find out Mike Elko was a DB in college. But I was more surprised to know how this is the only defensive coordinator I've watched recently that's like clearly hunting the principles of each given pass protection. I was blown away.
Well, and I'm glad you brought up the chess piece, because it seems like not only on the defense, but the flow of the game, calling that fake punt took some real stones. Had it not worked, it would have been a disaster, but it was the right timing, it was the right play call, and it flipped that momentum right back to A&M as Missouri was starting to capture some of it.
Yeah, I mean, they've done this really all year. I mean, you guys watch them a whole hell of a lot closer than I do, but every time I watch them, I feel like they play some version of complementary football. Whether it's the offense picking up the defense, whether it's the defense picking up the offense. This time it was the special teams providing a spark to pick them both up. That's what, and I'm not saying they're going to do this, but I've been talking about it on our show. There are certain things in these builds, right? These builds to a title. There are certain things where the championship DNA and the championship ingredients, right? The special stuff required to win in January, those things show themselves long before they bring a championship result. The actual winning, like what it takes to consistently, year in, year out, keep getting shots at the door and eventually bust it down. There are several of those on this A&M season arc right now, like last week or 2 weeks ago against LSU, where, dude, there's 2 turnovers and just a chopped possession in the middle of that road game. Like, it's tight. It's a 1-score ball game. Marcel Reed throws an interception in the red zone. The next possession, I think y'all throw another interception. And then there's a possession in there where there's a fumble in your own end. Now it's 2nd and 26. You might as well punt it. Like, there are 3 possessions in a row where y'all are not very good. And then I think y'all scored 36 unanswered on the road in LSU and Death Valley. And then again, I know it's a backup quarterback this week against Matt Zollers in that unit, but I felt like y'all manhandled that football team. They had like 280 yards of total offense, and most of it came on like 5 plays. The rest of it was just 2 yards in a cloud of dust. Come get you some of this A&M defense. I think they're showing a lot of stuff that I love as in terms of an analyst looking for teams without a lot of flaws.
All right, that'll do it for the free part of this interview. For the extended version, please go to TexAgs.com/subscribe and become a premium subscriber. And if you're a Texas A&M student, you can get that for free. So check it out, texags.com/subscribe.